It is Thursday, December 8th. We are getting pretty deep into December here. Christmas season in full swing, holiday season in full swing, whatever you like to celebrate. It's probably in full swing. Back with the show, we've got some more themed sort of content today because there's still not that much in the plant-based news world happening, but I really like what we've got planned today. So thank you for joining us. Bringing Doug in here just a second, and he's doing something good. There.
You there? Anybody there?
Is that an old person joke?
Yeah, that was my old person impression. Yeah.
You know, it's funny you should do that because I was going to ask you, given that you revealed that the other day you didn't like dogs, I was just starting to
you
wonder,
keep
like, what else?
Up, man.
Yeah, like, what else does Doug Hay? What else or who else does Doug Hay not like? I mean, everyone likes dogs. So, I mean, I'm sure you don't like cats because they're no better than dogs. Kids, old people. Cats. I mean, what else do you not like? Who else do you not like? What groups do you like?
You know, I can't just like call out groups like that. I gotta. It's just gotta come out naturally. You know, you just gotta learn. As we do this more and more, we're on episode like 40 something, 50 something. I don't even know.
I think like 100.
Really that many?
I think we're getting there.
My true colors will show eventually, right? I mean,
I know
they have to.
It seems like they are making fun of old people today. That's a big step.
Matt, I like that jacket.
Thank you. You know what? It's yeah. I don't know what it is because this part is like has stuff on it, obviously, but it's kind of cotton-like, and then this part is more like warm material. I got it in Germany. It was I went to Decathlon and I saw it and I said, I've seen German people wearing stuff like that. That seems like it's probably appropriate for this weather. So I got it. And now here I am wearing it at home. It's nice and warm.
I dig it. It looks good. Looks nice.
It's a little more of an outdoor thing, but all my shirts are dirty and everything from the trip. So limited selection. Anyway, let's see. What do we have today to discuss? We've got more holiday themed stuff today. We've got another gift guide, which I'm excited about. I think we're going to do a gift guide tomorrow on No Meat Athlete Radio as well. For those who listen there, it'll be more of a meta gift guide, best of the best. Like of all these things we've been looking at, it'll be our favorite choices. Probably that's the plan right now. Anyway, this will probably be our last gift guide we do on this show. Maybe we'll talk more about some gift ideas or our personal ideas later on. But I figured early in the season is the time to do these. Plus, the new one that just came out, you alerted me to it yesterday, has prominently featured one of our products. So
that's right.
I had to include that one. But anyway, we'll get there in a minute. Anything else going on, Doug, in your world, holiday wise or anything else?
Kind of. I got a question for you, and I also want to hear from everyone else because I learned something today, and that I had always heard that black-eyed peas and collard greens are a New Year's Day essential meal, right?
Lucky, right?
You luck,
good fortune,
and prosperity. Yep, good fortune. I learned today that maybe that's like a Southern thing that the rest of the U.S. doesn't do that.
Definitely, that is a Southern tradition. I didn't know about it until I moved, I think, to North Carolina. Maybe even somewhat after that, I learned about it because Rancho Gordo Bean Club. They send black-eyed peas in like the fourth quarter of each year. They'll send that and give you a recipe, and they'll say make this on New Year's. But yeah, that was I didn't know that until I was probably almost 4 years old.
That's so interesting. For whatever reason, I just always thought that was kind of I would have guessed it was like a Irish thing or something that I don't know, but I thought everybody did it. So that's interesting. And I'd be curious to know if there are other traditions like that for other regions of the U.S. or other people,
right?
Because
I
mean, I don't know. It's nice to have something like that to cook up on New Year's Day.
It is nice. I've never actually had black-eyed peas on New Year's Day. I can always get the Rancho Gordo things, and I kind of intend to do it, and then I don't. But I don't know. But I like traditions. I think it's good. I was just in Europe and talking to people about how easy it is to travel around different countries. But it's so cool that you can go a few hours in a car or plane or train or whatever, and you go somewhere else, and there's like entirely different culture and new traditions, language. Used to be different money. And I wish the United States had that. We can get to all different states and things. It seems like it's everywhere just kind of the same. So I think these traditions, regional things, are really good, and I wish there were more of them. So I would love to hear that people have regional traditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so no one it seems to have heard about this in the comments here. We have a couple of people saying certainly not a thing in Canada. Never heard of it where they are. Whole health experience has never heard of it. Means nothing to me, says Steven. So I guess it is a regional thing for sure. The reason this came out is because I had tasked Julia, who is from Canada, but also one of our recipe developers at Compliment and Nomi Athlete to create a black eyed peas dish for us to share around New Year's. And she was like, "What are you talking about?" So I was like, "What do you mean? What am I talking about?" This is a thing. So definitely not a thing in at least Western Canada. Anyway,
no, there's not. But I like it, and maybe this year I'm going to try to do that. I haven't been in my house for New Year for a while, but I would like to do that. So I was going to talk about Christmas cooking tradition. So funny you should bring this up.
Okay.
I have been accumulating Christmas things that I make at Christmas time ever since probably the past 5 years, and I'll tell you what they are. A couple of them, because I'm going to do them again this year. Because I'm pretty pumped about this year doing a lot of that cooking. I started. I don't know when. I think I was sick some in December. Actually, it was the December when I was really sick. That time when I was sick for a whole month, and you and I met at some point.
Oh yeah.
Drop off something. I forget what it was, but I couldn't even come near you because you had a new baby and you had to drop off a brown paper bag in the parking lot for me, and then I had to go pick it up.
That's right. I remember. I left it behind my tire. I forgot about that.
What?
Very sketchy. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so I guess I found a pho recipe, PHO, right? The Vietnamese hot soup thing, which would never think of that as a Christmas recipe, but it's the broth is, I mean, usually it's beef broth, but you can make it with mushrooms, obviously, or maybe other things. But the one I do is mushrooms. But it always has like a lot of like, I don't know what the word is, aromatic things in it, like cinnamon sticks, star anise. So these things that have like, to me, a very holiday-like smell. So I really like doing that like mid-December, just sort of get in the mood, make the house smell delicious. And then you also get a nice, Vietnamese soup when it's cold out. So that's one I really like. I have a vegan beignets recipe that I usually do on my birthday. And that's delicious. Simple, deep fried, but they just turn out so good and puffy and delicious. Maybe I'll compile these recipes, actually, and link to them or something.
You should.
And then Spanish tortilla, which is made out of potatoes and usually eggs, but you can do it very easily with the chickpea flour, garbanzo bean flour, whatever it is. And it comes out wonderful, and it's a really good just like appetizer thing to have around while you're having some wine in the afternoon or whatever. So I'll find that recipe as well. And I've got a few more that I do here and there. They're not coming immediately to mind, but I've definitely got 2 or 3 more sort of staples. I used to make like this Emeril Lagasse thing that had eggs and 6 kinds of cheeses and sausages, and that went out obviously a long time ago. I thought about recreating it now that there's so much good vegan versions of these ingredients, but it would just be a whole dish of like all fake vegan alternatives to things, and it just doesn't seem that good. So I'm not gonna do that one.
Like an egg casserole, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, more or less. I guess that's what it was. I was never an egg eater, so it was more like a bread thing. Like it was a lot of bread. You would soak the bread, and I think you would soak the bread in eggs, and put all put sausages in and ham, and and it was good. I always liked it. I got up early on Christmas and would do it. So I wish I had that again. I mean, like a version of that was my get up early and make dish. But I just don't want to make it full of fake stuff. It just doesn't seem that good.
We do that almost every year.
Oh yeah, you still do it in plant-based fashion.
I don't think it's full of fake stuff. I'm trying to remember. I'll have to look up. Katie has marked the one we cook every year. I mean, it's full of fake sausage and probably some cheese too. But I think it's like chickpea.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll have to look. But it's not like the egg isn't like a fake egg or anything. It's
right.
And a whole bunch of veggies, and it's like got this cream stuff. Here's the one, but absolutely delicious. Because growing up, we like brunch was always our bigger meal for Christmas Day than like a big fancy dinner. I mean, we always did a little bit of a nice dinner, but like the big, we'd wake up, we'd do like stockings and Santa and whatever, and then we'd put a pause on presents and do a big, massive brunch, and egg casserole was always an essential part of that. So as I went vegetarian and vegan, we kind of began to recreate that, and as we started our own traditions. Very good. Yeah, very good. But like pho, or pho. I don't know how you pronounce it, but
I think it's pho. It seems so weird to say pho, so call it pho if you want. It's good.
That sounds perfect. That sounds like a great holiday dish.
Yeah, well, people are saying that, and I'm surprised. Dale Stevens said it sounds like a great idea. Steven's going to try it, and now you said it. So I was a little bit hesitant to share that one because I thought I was going to get killed for it, saying
no,
who would want that at Christmas time? But I'm telling you, the aromatics and things are just really good. It's wonderful. So
you know what? We'll probably do a whole Christmas dinner episode one time. But since we're on the topic, you know what my best Christmas tip for food is, if you have a bunch of family in town, is to make a massive like chili or soup. Doesn't have to be chili, just any sort of soup that just kind of sits on the stove or in the crock pot for like
simmers all day. People just come and
just simmers all day. And if you want to, because you get hungry at random times, like especially Christmas Eve or Christmas Day while you're waiting on the dinner and all that stuff, like you just have a big, like you can just pour yourself a bowl and it's like
smells delicious. I'm sure
it smells delicious. Love it. It's my best tip.
Good. I like it. Well, I'm gonna. I like your idea of turning the brunch into because I always have this like, and I think this is probably why I started making some of these things is because presents and there's massive countdown until the big day, especially with kids, and it's done in an hour, and it's 7 o'clock when it's done, and we have the entire day now, and I don't know. So I think having then a next event that says now we just eat, that'd be great. So I think I'm going to increase the focus on that. And what about alcohol? Do you serve alcohol that morning on such a blessed day, Doug, or is that sinful? I think you do.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, I can't
feel bad with kids. It's like such a kids' day, and like I just feel so bad if I start drinking alcohol at 10 a.m. on that day. I don't know why.
Man, this is I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I'm also, this is a safe space. You and me and the rest of the world. It's no one's judging anyone here. So the Christmas morning since having a kid stresses me out. Like all the presents, and then because my experience with the kids is that they have so much stuff and they get kind of overwhelmed. And then there's like all this pressure from everyone who's giving them the gifts to like open it up and spend time on it and play with it. And they're just like ripping things apart. And we try to take things slow and kind of take turns opening things instead of all just, rushing the tree. And like by the end of it, everyone is like, the kid is just so overwhelmed with all the stuff and all the presents and all the pressure, and that makes me really overwhelmed. And I don't know.
You have the trash bag, and you go around and immediately put everything into it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's been like that present opening time in the morning has always been stressful, and then like once that's done and everyone kind of like take a breath, have a cocktail, and then the kid just like goes off to the room and plays with their toys, and it's like great. So I if you want to drink before dinner, I think that's fine on Christmas Day.
All right. So you don't like dogs. You don't like Christmas morning for your kids. You don't like Christmas morning with kids. Without kids, you like it. But with kids, no. Okay.
No. That's not really what I mean. I guess that's kind of what I said. So. It's just a lot. It's just a lot, especially with like little kids. I have a feeling that now that they're older, it'll be a little different. But the pressure on like a single kid, a solo kid who was 2 years old and barely understood what was happening was a lot for her to handle, and it was a lot for me to handle.
I'm no opponent of like consumerism and stuff like that. I know people say things like I only want give 4 gifts for Christmas or whatever and just keep it. Like I don't like any of that. I think go for it. But I have definitely felt some Christmases where like at the end of the day, I just feel disgusting with how much stuff we have given or people have given the kids and how much is in our house now. Like there's no room to put things. I just feel like so gross. I just want to get rid of all of it. So that's one day that when I definitely feel that anti-consumerism thing. The other time is when we travel. I hate packing a car up and we're going to the beach for a weekend and we can't go there without the car being so full that you can barely fit the people into it. Yeah. Just so we can get away for a weekend. Like I hate that we have that reliance on stuff. I don't know. So
maybe like the biggest like breakdown I've ever had as a parent was was packing the car for our first camping trip with 2 kids. Just the amount of stuff that had to go into that car. And I'm like a backpacker, and I like minimal gear when it comes to camping. And I mean, even like car camping, if it was just me and Katie, we still have a small tent. We still have like minimal stuff that we're bringing. And so now, I mean, we have this massive tent now. We have at this point we were carrying a pack and play to put in the tent for our youngest daughter. It's like all this stuff like no one could fit anywhere, and I was like, no, this is not camping. I was like,
yeah.
Anyway, I feel like now we're just ranting about whatever, but
no, I know what you mean though. I know that thing. It's you got to make sacrifices, right? It's part of being a parent.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get to some of our stuff here. I think we'll cut short some of it, so we can just skip right to the consumerism gift guide. But we'll first, really quick, Doug. I thought there's nothing to say about this one, but it made me think of you, of course. Which is the vegan snacks market is expected to nearly double in just 7 years from now, by 2029, which is, I guess, only about 6 years away, really. Going to go from expected to grow from 47.2 billion to 82.3 billion. So you've got to be excited about that, and maybe a little concerned. Like, I mean, if you have, I don't know if you have trouble not having the snacks, but that's gonna be a lot more vegan snack options, Doug, that are there. They're not talking about fruits and vegetables and hummus dips. I don't think, Doug. This is the companies are talking about. The significant players are Amy's Kitchen, Danone, Dia Foods, Tofuti Brands, Eden Foods, SunOpta. So none of this is just whole produce. That is probably what vegan snacks should be, or nuts and seeds. It's this is packaged stuff. So I don't know. It could be a troublesome time.
It's funny you say that, because I read this headline and my initial reaction was like, sweet. And then I started thinking about it, and it actually, like, I kind of went on a little roller coaster ride here, because one of my resolutions, I've been thinking about what I want to do in the new year, and this platform has just reminded me of how much snacking that I do, and maybe I should be snacking a little less, or snacking on some more fruit and less corn chips. And I actually like had that thought. I was like, man, like the world is conspiring against me. This stuff is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I know. Oops. Yeah, I know. I told you, we bought all these gummies back from Germany, and all the Kit Kats, and like I can't stop going to. Like I do not consider myself interested in that sort of food, but now that it's in the pantry, I'm just like, I don't know, 3 times a day, go hit the pantry, get a black licorice stick or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's easy. The whole health experience, it says we are making her feel just fine being selfishly kidless, in quotes. But imagine just taking elderly family members places. It's actually a similar process. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was listening. I'm trying to clip out reels, or make reels, Doug, from our shows, and it's a process, because the Instagram live recording the sound quality is so bad. I feel bad for everyone listening to this show if it actually is as bad as it seems like it is. The podcast one is great. It's fine because we have different microphones for that, but we can't get those microphones to go into the phones. It doesn't work with Instagram Live. No way that we've figured out. But anyway, I was listening to the 2 days ago show, and I got to the part where I called out people who don't like having kids. I said it was a selfish decision not to have children, and that who are you to think your life is so valuable you can't make the ultimate sacrifice and have kids. But so I felt sort of bad about that one. I felt there's probably a lot of people. I mean, I could think of a bunch of the fans of the show, big fans, who don't have kids, and they're 35 years old, and they probably decided not to. So I felt bad about that one.
If the other thing, so what's going to come out about me is that I don't like dogs, and I don't like Christmas morning, and whatever. But what's going to come out about you is you just don't like anything, or not like anything. You're just I don't know. You're I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
curmudgeon,
you're a curmudgeon. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But I mean, really, it's mostly in jest.
It is, of course.
You have a strong sense of humor that I think I hope people understand, which I think they do.
Yeah, those who are still with us probably do. All right, and the other news before we get to the gift guide is the DASH diet appears that it may reduce cardiovascular cardiovascular disease risk by 10%. This is from Medical News Today, which is not quite as authoritative as it sounds. It's in the same category as Healthline and some. It looks exactly the same as those sites. They own a bunch of them, but they always do. They give you little trusted source check marks, and they tell you stuff's been reviewed by doctors and all that. So I don't not trust them. But anyway, there's a new study. It came from American Journal of Cardiology, and it's saying that the DASH diet, which by the way is short for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, so it's a low blood pressure diet. What it is eating vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, including fat-free or low-fat dairy products, fish, poultry, beans, nuts, and vegetable oils. So not saying none of those things, but they're saying make good choices with them. Limiting high saturated fat foods such as fatty meats, full-fat dairy, coconut, palm kernel, and palm oils, and limiting sugary beverages and sweets. So to me, it sounds a lot like the Mediterranean diet without getting into specific food so much. And I think that's kind of what it is. They say it's easily adaptable to different cultural heritages. So I think it's sort of a broad thing that you could say that the Mediterranean diet is one example that fits in there. And there are other diets that would as well, of course. But anyway, they did the study. They found 437 people, half black, half women, and had them eat 3 weeks of typical American diet, then 8 weeks on this DASH diet. And some I think was just a control group, just kept eating the other diet. Some ate a DASH diet some did the standard American plus extra fruits and vegetables. And then the third group did the DASH diet. And then after 8 weeks of that, they basically put it into a big formula model and figured out how likely they would have heart disease events in the next 10 years. So, I mean, that's kind of problematic for me that like,
8
that's
weeks.
how we're right. We do 8 weeks and then we extrapolate that to 10 years and say, this is what this does. Very hard to agree that that's the best way to know this, but I guess on a short timeline, it's how you can learn some things. So anyway, they found on average, it was a 10% risk reduction in the 10-year risk, I think, of a cardiac event. I don't think it was just evidence of disease, but an actual event, like a heart attack. But the interesting thing is how it splits out. The reduction was 13% for women, 6% for men. So they're calling that an average of 10 or so. But if you're a man, that's much less significant than if you're a woman. And then for black adults, the relative risk reduction on the DASH diet was 14%, while for everyone else, it was only 3%. So also a very, very significant difference there. Kind of interesting that something could be so different along those kind of lines. So anyway, I found it interesting. The last thing about it that makes it somewhat less interesting seeming is that like the actual overall numbers we're talking about here, because I think these were like 45-year-old people on average, if I'm not mistaken. They said like the actual, like for the people who ate the standard American diet, the control group, their predicted amount of heart disease was like 2% of them would have a heart risk or heart event in the next 10 years. So it seems very low because if you think of heart disease as being one of the leading killers, and I think of it as like a 30% eventual risk for everybody of that. And I don't know if I'm accurate on that or not. But I always think that it's somewhere in that range. So to think just 10% or 2% in the next 10 years of these people seems so low. So to a 10% reduction of that is really not all that great. And they said it's like, right. It's like you would save maybe or prevent 2 events in 1,000 from this different diet change. So not that many, but I do think on the longer time horizon, if we're not talking about 10-year risk, but 40-year risk, maybe then it would sort of bear out to look more significant than that. But
I wonder if they looked at, this is just looking at random people, if they had looked at high risk people for cardiovascular disease or something, I mean, like would that have increased the drop in events? I would think so. But I mean, in the same way that like, if you're healthy, eating a healthy plant-based diet isn't going to have nearly as big of a immediate impact as if you're unhealthy and you switch to a plant-based diet,
Yeah, right. And then finally, also significant to me is that while the compared to the control diet, the DASH diet gave a relative reduction of 10.3%. The fruit and vegetable rich diet, which was the same standard American diet plus extra fruits and vegetables, and I'm guessing that means a little bit less of everything else since it probably displaces some of the calories. That one's risk reduction is 9.9%. So that's not even requiring you to have a massive diet change, and you're getting virtually the same level of risk reduction.
That's crazy.
Just by eating more fruits and vegetables. So to me, that's almost the bigger headline here. That if you eat more fruits and vegetables, you can get nearly the same reduction as doing this DASH diet. So I don't know. Interesting news. More evidence for the power of fruits and vegetables, which even those of us who eat a good, healthy diet often forget those things.
It's easy to when there's a massive vegan snack market out there.
Right. I know. Exactly. Okay. On to the main event, Doug. Runnersworld.com. A few weeks ago, we talked about Runner's World and we bashed him a little bit. I think we said we used to be friends with Runner's World and then we weren't so sure these days. I don't really know what that was based on because I don't think we've had any run-ins or anything. But we didn't like the article.
It was a really bad article about veganism and running as being a vegan athlete.
Right. And they basically said, well, it's probably not going to hurt you, but watch out for these deficiencies and things. Like that's the basic. Right. Now, that was Runner's World UK. And I think we did say we generally had a good experience with Runner's World United States, including a trip to their headquarters once where we lit up the karaoke night in the bar and several other memorable events. So I like Runner's World, good people. Anyway, they put out the 30 best vegan gifts for the active person in your life. And number one, Doug, sure enough, the No Meat Athlete Cookbook. And with a little tag next to it that says best for vegan athletes, which is very exciting for me. And shout out to my co-author, Stephanie Romine, who I talked to the other day. She lives in Germany now, so we chatted a bit while I was there. But yeah, this book this book just keeps selling and remains popular. And I'm very grateful for that. To me, it's sort of much more than the first book. It's just this lasting, I don't know if cult is the right word for it, but it just keeps popping up and it just keeps selling. And The Experiment, who was our publisher, small publisher, they couldn't give a big advance. I mean, they don't give big advances. And I was a little let down in the beginning. They ran out of copies during maybe not their fault, but we sold a ton of copies relative to what was expected in the pre-launch. And then it ran out like the day before it went on sale. So that was a huge, dramatic thing. And I said, I'm never writing another book and all that stuff. But what they told me when they said, well, we don't give big advances, but we try every year to sell more copies than we did the year before of these books. And my thought was, okay, no one's actually going to do that because you can't. It's all about the first year and then everybody forgets about your book. Right. But they have really continued to do that in this book. I don't know the exact numbers. I haven't paid that close attention, but I do think it sells more each year than the year before.
Wow.
So it's very cool. Yeah. And I'm very grateful for them and the work that they must continue to do to promote it because I don't ever talk about it except for things like this. So I don't know. Thank you, Experiment. And thank you, Runner's World, for putting us in here. This is super cool. We were in there last year one too. They did a 2021 vegan thing. It was a little slightly different headline. I think they probably republished the same article and changed a few things around. But whatever, keep doing it. I'm happy to do that, and we'll keep talking about it when you do.
Yeah, absolutely. You're back on our good side, Runner's World.
Yeah, right. You've made good. Let's see what we think of the list though, and then we'll decide if that remains true. Okay, number 2, Doug. You're getting a little grainy for me. Are you having that problem with me?
Yeah, you're back to normal now, but you did get grainy for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, you're still grainy and garbly voice, but so people just let us know if you're having issues still. Hopefully it'll all be fine. Should be fine on the podcast usually. All right, number 2. There are 30 of these, by the way, so we're not going to go through all 30. We don't have time for that. It's the Milk Maker by Almond Cow. Turns any grain, seed, or nut into delicious milk in a matter of minutes. It's easy to clean. Couldn't be easier to use with a one-touch button. I mean, I think this is kind of cool. Better than most of the other gifts we talked about the other day from that different guide. I don't know. I used to make almond milks and things in my Blendtec, and I think you still can pretty much do that. So I don't know if you need another device for it. But why not? I think it's could potentially be a cool gift for vegans.
So, I like this gift a lot. I like the idea of it. I've never used one or had one, so I have no idea how effective it is. But I love the idea of it because, it's similar to a bread maker, but here I think you have a little bit more flexibility in what you can make. I don't know, but we drink almond milk every day, or some sort of milk every day, plant-based milk, and it'd be nice if we were making our own consistently. We do that from time to time, but it's just we just can't keep up with the amount that we're drinking, and honestly, it's oftentimes cheaper to just buy it. So,
yeah, that's my big concern. Is it actually any cheaper, or once you buy those whole nuts and things, is it just going to end up with a bunch of nut fiber? And if you don't find some way to use that, then you're not really saving any money. So I don't know. That brings us to number 3 for easiest almond milk, which is even easier than buying that device. Almond milk unsweetened concentrate. And so this is an almond paste that allows your vegan loved one to make almond milk in a snap. All you just put a scoop of paste in the blender with water and it becomes almond milk. Now, I'm kind of going to do an Emperor's New Clothes bit here because I think they just put almond butter into a jar and they put a label on it that calls it almond milk base. And they're selling it for $43 for a container of it. I don't know how big that is, but that's triple the price of the most expensive almond butters. So this may be the scam of the year here that someone, came up with. I'm not really sure, but it's the only ingredient is blanched almonds, and that's basically what you make them. That's almond butter. It's just they blanch them first. So I don't know what to think about this one.
That's funny. I didn't put that together. It is 2 jugs or 2 packs for
okay,
for the $40-something. But I wonder how many servings it makes.
15 ounce pack.
27 servings. So you're getting 60 servings, 55 servings for $45. So that's not great. No,
because if you just bought regular almond butter, you could make a blender full of almond milk with a few scoops of it. So it's I don't know. I think this might be they pulled a fast one here. I'm not sure, but I like I wouldn't mind starting that business where you just get nut butters and then relabel them all different kinds and call it base. My concern with the Runner's World list begins actually at this item. They're starting to just sort of give you vegan groceries and say this is a good gift for the vegan in your life. So the theme continues more. So we'll skip most of those, but we'll go on here. S'mores scented candle, like you said before, with one of these gifts, it's a candle. It's just it's a little token gift that you give, but not that someone you care about. It's just no good. Next, this is I guess it's an Instant Pot. Yeah, Instant Pot makes this, I think. The Instant Vortex. Right, but I think it's made by Instant Pot because the name is in there, which I didn't realize before. Instant Vortex 5.7 quart air fryer oven combo. And I think the idea here, well, not the idea, but I think this is an air fryer that doubles as your oven. And they mentioned that in the blurb that this could actually be your oven if you don't have one. That is definitely true of the I know it doesn't look like it. The picture doesn't look like it. It looks like a regular air fryer with the little drawer basket thing. But like we have a Breville Smart Oven Air that is our air fryer, but it's also like it could totally replace your oven if you lived in a small apartment. So it's not unthinkable that your air fryer could become your oven. It's just this one seems so small that I don't know what you would put.
Yeah. How am I going to fit my frozen pizzas in that little thing?
Yeah, I know. You'd have to break them up into slices. That wouldn't be any good. So anyway, the air fryer, though, is not a bad gift idea. Maybe not this particular one, although the Instant Pot has some raving fans. I do not count myself as one of them. We continue not to have success with our Instant Pot, even though people rave about it, which is just basically a glorified pressure cooker, honestly. So anyway, the Instant Pot
can be a good gift. You're an air fryer fan, though, right?
Well, we have it, and I mean, like I said, it's a toaster oven, but it has that function. And now and then I do. I don't know if it makes that much difference with things. I don't go and like make all these snacks without oil and make fried buffalo wings or whatever with cauliflower. I mean, now and then I will, but it's not like we just always fry things up in our air fryer and then eat them healthily.
Oh, I thought you were doing like air fried tofu all the time and all kinds of stuff like that.
We do that. I mean, I guess that's, yeah, but it's sort of the same as, to me, it's kind of the same as if we stuck a tofu into our oven and baked it. It gets a little crispier, I guess. And it's great to do that instead of having to deal with frying it and sticking and all that stuff in the pan. It doesn't really matter to me whether we use the air fryer function or the regular function. I just don't feel like it's that different.
Interesting. Yeah. I've always been really intrigued by the air fryer because of conversations we've had, and but I don't think I've ever actually had anything that's air fried. So I don't know.
I mean, it's good. Like I don't know. I forget what we did, but we've put French fries in it. You spray them a little bit with olive oil or one of those sprays, and they're okay. It's fine. It's not going to replace your corn chips, Doug. It's just not going to.
Okay.
It's not for a serious snacker. It's a healthy alternative. But I think you're more advanced than that.
I do consider myself an elite snacker, maybe.
The Whole Health Experience says the Instant Pot for dried beans, it's a must. That's what I can't get it to work for. And I really like making dried beans, make them from scratch or whatever the word would be. When I make them in the air fryer, I get some hard ones on the top. Some of them are undercooked on the bottom because it's like a space shuttle. You seal it up and then you can't touch it till it's done because it's a high pressure. So I don't know. I have not gotten it to work. And we've tried it a lot of times. Year after year, we pull it out, try it 3-4 times, and we're like, nope, still not good. And then we put it away. All right. Moving on. The Monstera plant, which it doesn't seem anything special about this plant. It's from The Sill, which I think is a site that sells plants. And they're just basically saying, give plants to your vegan friend. That's it. There's nothing special about this plant, but that's it. It's fine. Another little gift you might give as a courtesy if you go into a Christmas party or something, but not your vegan loved one. 100% satin pillowcase.
I don't know. There's enough plant loving vegans that if someone got me a nice plant, I would be happy with that.
Yeah, I'd be all right with it. I wouldn't hate it. Wouldn't be that excited.
No, it would not be. It would not be a milk
not like
maker.
A puppy. Not like if it was a puppy, right? Or a puppy.
Right. Yeah, if it was a puppy, I would much rather take a plant over a puppy. But
I know it. We should remind people here: puppies are not gifts. Don't give puppies as gifts on Christmas. It's terrible. They're a lifelong, or not. They're lifelong commitment, and 15 years of your life. So don't do that. All right, satin pillowcase. I don't know. I mean, I'm out on this. I don't like satin pillowcases. Your head slides off the pillow too easily. Just don't like it.
Ditto.
Yeah. Super Serum Skin Tint. Skip. Number 9, coconut bowls and wooden spoon set. These are cool. This is from Coco Bowl Co., which I think is all one word. COCO Bowl Co. For smoothie bowl lovers, these look cool to me. They're polished coconut shells, halves, and I guess you'd eat your smoothie bowl. They don't seem to have any sort of base that would hold them steady. They seem just like they would wobble on your thing. But I guess if it's just a smoothie bowl that you're using, or you put in something viscous in there that's not like a cereal, then that would be okay if it sort of tips a little bit. But I don't, other than that, I don't know. It just seems sort of like a rare use thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not crazy about like bowls as gifts.
Okay. Yeah, that's mean. It's right. Wouldn't be anything to get all excited about. Mr. Jeffrey, in a bit of foreshadowing, says a hydroponic garden is a good gift too.
Yes.
That is number 13. Maybe he's already on the site, but that's the number 13. We have one of these things running in our garage all the time. The light is always on there. Yeah. Even when it's nighttime, I come home and notice the garage light is on, and then I remember it's just the basil and whatever else we're growing in there. And it's a nice thing. It's useful. It doesn't have that much, but we use it infrequently enough. Like during summer, we get it from other places. We grow outside stuff. But so far it's been pretty good. We just could go grab what is needed.
Huh. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So here's one that I like. The big vegan cheese making kit.
Yep. Number 10.
Number 10. Of course, I've never used it before, but I do love the idea of making homemade vegan cheeses. And we've done a little bit of that in my house, and I've always quite enjoyed it. We use Julie Pyatt's book, Rituals Wife.
Yep.
This Cheese is Nuts. And I've had a lot of success with her recipes. And so I think this is cool. This is a cool idea if it kind of got you started in the vegan cheese making.
Yeah, I agree with you about that. I for Erin's 40th birthday, I was trying to get her 40 gifts. And one of the hacks that I found was that if I got her cheese making supplies, I could use up like 10 gifts with all the different things that you had to get for the cheese. So we did that, and it was successful, and it was good when we've done it. I think we've probably only done 2 or 3 different cheeses, just because it's just not something we do. I don't know. Like you can buy pretty good vegan cheeses these days, so you have to be someone who wants to make stuff, just like beer brewing, right? You have to have to want to do it and want this to be your own thing, and you get something special out of doing that you don't get from going to the store and buying beer. I've kind of like evolved. Now I just go buy beer. I don't need to make it anymore. But yeah, if you're that type of person, then this would be cool.
Yeah, totally.
Good gift. Honestly, this to me is a great gift because
exactly.
And when he likes activities and stuff, you get a little kit like this, and it's fun. You may or may not ever use it, but it's a good gift.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. That was my favorite gift out of all of the ones on this list, aside from the Nerd Athlete cookbook, right. Of course.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so we'll speed up here. Vegan food kit. It's just a bunch of van-friendly meals. Snack subscription, Doug. That's not your favorite one, huh?
I missed that one.
Number 12. You subscribe to a snack box. Always vegan, plant-based snacks delivered right to your door.
No, I don't want that stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know why? Because what they get in those boxes is you get whatever the companies were willing to donate or give on discount to the
little
box.
Tiny little things.
Right. Yeah. And so you're going to start to like something, and then you'll never see it again because the company's going out of business and they sold their stuff in a fire sale to the snack box company.
That's right.
So that's the problem with those. 14, Purple Carrot gift cards. I like Purple Carrot. Friend of mine, Andy Levitt, the founder. So
meal delivery.
Like
Yep.
Yeah, meal delivery. Meals. I think they have. I think you can buy frozen meals and things too from them. So a gift card would be great. Mm-hmm. Number 15 is a book. I'm honored to be 14 slots higher than one of my favorite cookbooks, America's Test Kitchen: Vegan for Everybody. This is really delicious. I don't know if advanced is the right word, but they are more involved plant-based recipes that are a little bit of extra work to make things that are very close to the original. Very good tested recipes. So I really like this. 16, Bearded Brothers vegan energy bars. Doug, remember Caleb Simpson, founder of Vegan Brothers?
Oh, yeah.
Bearded Brothers? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hung out with them in Austin, right? When we went on the book tour. I forgot about that you were there with me. Mm-hmm. Their bars are great. I didn't honestly know they were still around or in business, but
I think they got purchased.
Oh, okay.
By a large company.
Maybe they're out.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So I don't know if they're out, but yeah.
Yeah, purchase at least. Mm-hmm. All right. You can guess how much I love number 17. The Patagonia Nano Puff Jacket. Only $199 at REI. But if you spent that $199, you would at least know that, first of all, it's going to the co-op REI. It's going to the owners. Check. And whatever profits go to Patagonia are just being reinvested into the earth after first saving this guy a bunch of money on his taxes, that billionaire guy. So you're only doing good by buying things from Patagonia. Despite what their ads may say about don't buy this jacket or whatever, just a feel-good purchase. So I'm all for this one.
I own this jacket and I love this jacket. And
I
wear it almost every day. Yeah, absolutely. So I would buy myself another one just to have two, just in case one gets dirty.
Wow, that might be a little extra impact on the environment than is really needed.
Yeah, I know how much you love number 18 here. And along with it, we'll do number 20, which is number 18 is Huma Energy Gels. Number 20 is Cliff Blocks.
Yep.
Cliff Shot Blocks. Look, this is not a Christmas gift. I guess it could be a stocking stuffer if someone's training for a marathon or something.
That's what it would be. It's a stocking stuffer. That's it.
Yeah, and that's fine. I got no problem with that. I probably received some of that and maybe even gifted some of that. But yeah, I don't know what it's doing on a list like this.
Well, it's Runner's World. All right. And then, Rocket Blender, number 19, one of these things. I think I have a Ninja version of this, personal size blender. This is actually quite handy. $26, this one, very cheap. But we do a decent amount of hotel trips and things for soccer, and to bring along a little mini blender that you can make a smoothie in or something if you've got ingredients or protein shake or whatever. It's actually not a terrible thing. This definitely goes in the category of things that I get really angry that we're bringing on trips, because I'm like, why do we need to rely on these things? But it's small and it's fine. And if someone needs to keep eating that food, then good way to do it. Cool. Number 21, Scott and Jurek's book, Eat and Run. Very good book. Has about 15 good vegan recipes in it, as well as his tales of ultramarathon greatness. Of course, he's a vegan runner. Really great book. So I think this is a good one, and definitely. I'm very proud to be 20 slots ahead of it. All right, Chapstick, more stocking stuffers. We can skip that. Allbirds Tree Runners, number 23 here. I scanned down to the comment section of this post, not looking for this, but I just did. And someone there said Allbird uses merino wool, which is not at all vegan because of how the sheep get sheared. So you might want to take that out of your list. And that comment was from November 2021, which is further evidence for my case that they just republished last year's story.
That's funny.
That's all right. It's good. It's good internet marketing. Speaking of internet marketing, if you scroll down this list, Runner's World has gift guides for all these categories that have nothing to do with running at all. Like 30 great gifts for coffee lovers to fuel their fix, 35 best gifts for dog lovers, Doug, which is perfect for you. And if you read like the introduction, there's no mention of running. Well, there's one mention of running. It says whether they love to run, hike, or travel with their dog, there's always a gift that can make the experience more enjoyable, etc. But there's like 2 paragraphs of introduction about dogs and stuff, and then there's gifts. And I Control F searched for the word run, and there's none except for things like running small or something like that. So it's like they're just publishing gift guides that have nothing to do with running and publishing them on runnersworld.com. I'm not too upset about it because that's how we got that number 1 spot. But
yeah, and internet media, I tell you, man.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure every single one of these links is an affiliate link. I like number 30 is Saucony Ride 14s. That shoe is like well over a year old, maybe 2 years old. There's probably a 15 out. I don't know for sure, but my guess is that there is.
All right, let's not bash the list too much, though, Doug. We don't want to lose that spot, that coveted number 1 slot. We need that. Number 28, Vega protein powder. See, now it's a lot of groceries. Sport Vegan Recovery Drink Mix by Scratch Labs. Roar Hydration Drinks Variety Pack. So, I mean, there's nothing else really worth getting into, I don't think. The groceries, they can make a nice little stocking stuffer. Once when I was a kid, I got a case of Yoo-Hoo for Christmas from my parents or from Santa. It was under the tree. And it lasted me for a couple months, and I enjoyed it. So it's not a terrible idea to give like groceries, but it's just a little weird.
Yep. So Matt, how does it feel to be only 3 spots above a candle?
Yeah, you're right.
No, I'm just kidding. The
candle doesn't belong there.
Look, I think that these types of gift guides, and I'm sure we have done them on No Meat Athlete in the past, and I'm about to do one for a compliment.
Yeah, we used to get all kinds of free stuff. Remember for our the podcast.
Oh, I mean, we've done lots of podcast ones, but these. I mean, these here. I mean, I don't know. Like, who's relying on these? I'm not sure. But probably a lot of people actually. Like, their grandson or their cousin or whatever, is a mountain biker, and they know nothing about mountain biking, and so they Google mountain biking gift guide, and so that it is kind of a shame that like satin pillowcases are on the vegan gift guide. I'm sure we can come up with something better than that, but I mean, I don't know. It's good to be on there. It's definitely going to be number 1 because I have a feeling people aren't really scrolling down past number 5. So,
right.
And the No Meat Athlete cookbook is probably really is one of the best options here. Like no exaggeration.
No, you're right. I think that would be a great gift if you had a vegan athlete type in your life. The funny thing about the satin pillowcase is I happened to be looking in their self-care gifts, and over in the self-care gifts list, they've got a silk pillowcase. So I wondered if they just like find gifts from the other list and then find vegan versions of them and import that into the vegan list. I don't know. Who knows how they make these things? But whatever, it's fine. They're fun. I like to look at them, and good content for this show. Hey, I have a gift guide, but this is not on the list. This book, Blue Zone's American Kitchen, came out on, I think, Tuesday was the release day, and Dan Buettner was going to be on our show, but then I went to Germany and dropped the ball, I guess, with confirming, and then he booked a radio tour day or whatever. So like he's not going to be on here now, but he was, and no hard feelings. I love the Blue Zone stuff. I always talk about that, but it's out new, and that's, I don't know, it's a nice way of like giving someone a vegan thing that doesn't say vegan all over it. I think all the recipes are 100% plant-based as far as I can tell. Could be wrong because I haven't looked that closely at it, but most Blue Zones things in recent years are 100% vegan. So great way to give someone like a longevity book that is actually a vegan book in disguise. So that's a good gift. And so would honestly be any of the Blue Zones stuff. It's a very good gateway to healthy eating if someone's interested in that.
Blue Zone's American Kitchen, 100 recipes to live to 100. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
And the idea is that there are a lot of, I think 4 or 5 like American ways of eating. I'm not going to get into right now, but different sort of cultural traditions of food in the U.S. that closely mimic what they see in the Blue Zone's cultures. and so it's recipes that are from those ways of eating.
Cool.
I've only made a couple things from it, but they've actually been really, really tasty. So would recommend it. Yahoo News has an article about that book. Maybe we'll get into that tomorrow. Talk a bit about that. But anyway, just wanted to shout it out as
Google tells me it's plant-based, whole food plant-based. So
yeah, there you go. Which could mean 100% vegan, or could mean occasional bits of cheese or whatever. They still seems to be called plant-based, but who knows? I'm pretty sure it is vegan. Cool. And Whole Health Experience is imploring me to please try again with beans. Submerge them and put on for 4 hours. Skip the beans button. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe I don't need to use the beans button. Just like my microwave. You're never supposed to use the popcorn button, says the microwave popcorns. Of course, Doug doesn't microwave popcorn. He only uses that silicone thing.
No, but you put that in the microwave.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't use the bags. Yeah. But
we got that, by the way. We got that thing. Aaron got
and?
It. I don't know. I think I had 1 or 2 things from it. I don't remember, honestly, how it was, but we do have it.
That is a good vegan. That I'm going to put that on the gift guide. I'm making a note on that.
Put that on your gift guide. Or you're making one, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm making a note on. That's going on the gift guide.
Good. All right. Good. Well, long show today. We've got some work to do, Doug, so we should probably wrap it up.
Yep.
And thanks everyone for joining us. Good attendance today. I'm happy. We've had a little bit of a setback with me going to Germany, and I feel like people were not attending quite regularly. But now today was a good steady attendance the whole time. So glad to see that. Not the podcast is fine. There's always people listening to that, but the live attendance is just hit or miss. But
yes. Thanks everybody. This will probably be our last gift guide, but I'm sure it won't be the last time we talk about bad gifts. So this will be good.
Yes. All right. Sounds good. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. See ya.